Hi, thank you again for joining us today for week 5 of our ongoing 15-week series of tools to support your life journey. And these tools can be found in Jane's book, Spiritual Power Tools Support for Your Soul. And as I mention every week, this series will empower you to become your infinite self. And this morning, let's take a moment and pray the prescription for spiritual alignment. We are aligned with the presence of God within. We are protected by God's love, wisdom, knowledge, and grace. The God consciousness within helps us discover more about who we are. Thank you, God, for the gift of spiritual intuition. Thank you, God, for aligning our conscious, subconscious, and superconscious minds. Amen. And today, Jane will be revealing to us how to journal to uncover your subconscious and dismantle your ego. Let's watch.
Hi there. We're still on our journey, and thank you for tuning me in. And I'm going to go on. Last week I talked about the 1/10 conscious, 9/10 subconscious. And it occurred to me this week as I was thinking about what I might help you with this week, that I would like to explain a little bit more about the 1/10 conscious and 9/10 subconscious that might be of help to you. And some of you have seen my wonderful spiritual ball. I call this the ball of karma. And last week I talked to you a tiny, tiny bit about karma and what is stored in your subconscious. And if you can just look at this ball of karma, you can see that there's all color strings attached and around this ball. And if we can pretend for a moment these are all your different lifetimes that you've had. Every color here is a lifetime that you've had. You had a blue lifetime and a green lifetime and a yellow, purple, orange, whatever. They're all here and they're all intertwined. As you can see, these lifetimes are all intertwined with each other. Okay, if you can think of this ball of karma right now as your lifetime, and all these things are stored in your subconscious below the surface. And these are all impressions and thoughts, ideas, talents that you have developed through the many lifetimes that you lived. And so as you look at this, you realize that this is all in your subconscious. And look, it's a really big mess. If you had to untangle this little ball here, you would find some of them come off very easily, and some of them are entwined with several other colors, and you have to move everything around to get to the one that you're trying to get off. Well, I just said a mouthful here. If you heard what I said some of them are easy to get off and some of them are entwined with other things, and it's more difficult to separate them. With that said, you are going to be looking at the little different things in your subconscious that have created you. And as you can see, there's a lot of things here that created you. And the only way you can remove some of these rubber bands, these lifetimes, is to come in contact with that particular lifetime and the identity you had when you were a green string, or that was your lifetime, when you were in the Crusades, or you were in Germany, the Pope, or whatever, many, many, many different characters you've played in every one of the lifetimes you've ever had. So now that we have this ball of karma, and we understand that we've had a lot of different lifetimes, how are we going to start to untangle this? Well, this was my problem when I realized that I had a bunch of lifetimes. I didn't know how on earth I was going to untangle all this mess. So I'm going to tell you what I did. In meditation, I said, okay, I can see that in my subconscious is a lot of different lifetimes, a lot of different memories. Where do I begin? I have no idea what's down beneath the surface, and if I didn't, I wouldn't know what to do with it if I knew. Help me. Help me to untangle this if I have to become conscious of what's here. Personally, I have no idea how I was going to do it, because this was back in the 60s. How am I going to untangle this mess now that I understand I have one? So I came up with this little idea, and you can do it too or not. It's all up to you. And maybe you've already done it. I said, okay, God, here is my karma. Here it is. I know that I've lived many lifetimes. I've had many different little eyes, and I don't know what to do with this ball or even how to untangle it. So I will, W-I-L-L, my karma to you. I give it to you. I will it to you. And I will my free will, because now I know I've got free will here. I will my free will to give it to you, untangle it. I give you my free will. Use it like you will. Bring it to me as I need it, and bring me the understanding I need from this. And I am willing to look at what I need to look at and go through whatever I need to do to get to the bottom of this. Now that was my desire in 1968, 69, when I realized I had a problem. I meditated for 2 months. Nothing happened. Everything was quiet. I thought, well, that was worthless. Here I offered my karma up to you, God. Didn't you want it? Didn't you take it? My little third-dimensional mind was going dip, 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 dip. What's going on? Why? What do I have to do? What do you want to tell me? How am I supposed to work with this? Every morning, I got up with the same question. Every morning, during the day, no answer, like nobody was listening to me. So I said, okay, I surrender. I surrender my karma to you. Do with it what you will. If you want to show it to me, show it to me. If you don't want to show it to me, don't show it to me. I surrender it. I have no hold on what you're going to do with this mess. I give up. I surrender. I gave it to you. You keep it. What are you going to do with it? I have no idea. Obviously, the last 2 months, you wouldn't talk to me. No one's talking to me. I don't hear anything. After you told me I'm 1/10 conscious, 9/10 subconscious, I have a veil, and I have karma. So that was my dilemma in 68. What on earth are you going to do with me? I don't know, but I surrender even the idea that you're ever going to do anything with me. I surrender. So every day after that, I surrendered. And I said, I will the will of you, God. You do with it what you want. Show me what you want. Don't show me anything. But I want to go home. I want to know myself. So this is what I say. This is what I'm committed to. And if you want me to write a letter of commitment, I will. So I wrote myself a letter to God and said, I'm committed to go on this journey. I will do it no matter what. And just help me. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Help me to see that which I need to see. And be focused on that which I need to be focused on. And more time went on. And during this time, several months, I continued my meditation, and I went and bought a journal, a paper, a notebook. And I started writing down what was happening each day. And I wrote down about my 1/10 conscious and 9/10 subconscious. I wrote down what was happening to me and how frustrated I was, and what my prayers were. I began the journaling process. And I did not like writing anything, but as soon after I got over my hissy fit about writing stuff down and did it, made myself do it, and I do mean made myself do it because nothing was working, so why not? Here's my commitment. Now I put it in my journal, and now I'm going to write every day in my journal, even if I say, I'm sitting and nothing's happening to me. I'm trying to work through my problems and nothing is going on. And I am frustrated today. Give me patience. I wonder if anybody's listening. Give me patience. Give me patience. But one thing you do know is that I want some answers, however you want to give them. So I surrender how you're going to give me my answers. So I started laying down all the things that my mind was telling me, and it was going crazy because I didn't know what I was doing. I had no teacher that I knew of that was helping me in body, and anywhere I went and tried to get some help, they just said, oh, you don't need to meditate. You just love God. That's all that's required of you. And I knew there was something else required of me, and no one was helping me. So I kept going to the one source that I knew, and that was meditation. At least in meditation, I felt like I was connecting to something, even though I didn't know what I was connecting to. As I was telling you, I was connecting to the infinite intelligence of this universe. So this little girl in 1968, fussing and yelling and hollering, and I finally quit. I finally rested. I rested. I put it all down. I just set it down. And guess what? When I stopped yelling, hollering, and acting like a jerk and quieted my mind, things began to pick up. I began to understand. And I realized how much that journaling for the last 2 or 3 months had helped me. Because now all these little questions that I was asking in my journal, I was slowly but surely getting answers to. Yes, slowly, slowly. Do you hear me? Slowly but surely getting answers to. Now, as you can see, I have over here journaling questions. These are some of the journaling questions I used, and they helped me to understand more about myself. And as we go through these journaling questions, what emotional am I feeling? I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling upset. Where are you, God? I wrote that down. This is what I'm feeling right now. And these questions have helped me more than you can imagine. And I journaled my feelings. Sometimes I felt happy, and that was a happy day. And what made me happy that day? What was the cause of my happiness? What is the cause of my unhappiness? I started journaling, And as I began to trust my journaling, what began happening to me was I was beginning to answer my own questions. It's like somebody else was writing, and I'm sure that somebody had my hand helping me, but I was answering them. So what was I emotionally feeling? Very important to put that down daily or however it works for you. Then, who or what pushed my buttons? Very, very important. What was pushing my buttons? Who today was upsetting me? Was it my child? Was it the lady that was cashing me out at the grocery store? Something was upsetting me. Something was pushing my button. But what was the button it was pushing? See, that was my next question. What is the button that gets pushed every time I see that person? That I feel angry, or I feel superior to them, or whatever was the button that was pushing, good, bad, or indifferent. I wrote it down. This is what I'm feeling, and this is what I think the button is. If I'm not right, please help me. And let me write down what button is getting pushed so I can correct it. Then the next thing I went to, does this always happen to you? Is there a pattern in your life? I found out that there was a patterns that kept repeating and repeating. And once I started journaling, it was much easier for me to find my journey and my history and what was pushing me around. It was much easier because I had something tracking it. And I could go back. I think I did that a month ago. Let me go back and look. Oh yeah, I asked that question a month ago. Look at the answer is right here. Somebody was listening to me. Somebody was helping me. But I had to do the work. You see, before I thought it was a magic potion that would automatically happen. I started to learn through journaling that I had to do the work. There was a process I was going through. And through this process, I was getting information about my soul, about my beingness, about who I was this lifetime, or what created this lifetime that I'm in right now. How did it come to be? So then, of course, I have, what is your soul trying to tell you? That was so important to me. What was my soul trying to tell me? And by journaling, I could journal what my soul was trying to tell me, and I got really, really good at it. At first, I was crappy at it. I will tell you, I was very crappy. I took things to the wrong answers and everything. But I began to learn. I began to use my talents and abilities that I had accrued from other lifetimes to pay attention to myself. I started being the observer of self. You know, I've talked to you a lot about being the observer of self. Oh man, did that ever help me in this process? And it continues to help you, so never give up your observer self, because that is the part of you that's always helping you to unfold, to become more conscious, more aware. And it's just not an accident. It has a purpose. Everything that's happening now, it has a purpose. I want to find out what that purpose is. What is my soul trying to tell me? What is God trying to tell me? Or my teacher, or the masters, or whatever I want to call it. Help me, help me, help me. I surrender. I listen. I will journal. I will do this even though I don't want to journal. I will journal. I can remember sitting in my chair in my bedroom, and it was 1969, and I was trying to journal, and it was just like, this seems to be a waste of my time. It doesn't do anything. And yet I said, well, this is a direction I got to journal. It'll help you to understand yourself, was the message I got. And I had to fight the fact that this was boring. I wanted this journey to be much more exciting than this. I have to do all this work. For what? And why? the 1968 girl was very, very confused at why she needed to journal. But 45 years later, I'm going to tell you, man, I'm glad that I worked through that ego of mine that was resisting. And your ego is going to resist on this journey over and over again. And you have to have the observer watching the ego resist. I just told you something huge. And if you didn't get it, go back and get it. Listen to it again. The ego, the more you go into the soul of yourself, the more the ego that you're in this lifetime will have a hissy fit because it doesn't want to surrender. Oh, once I figured that baby out, I thought, oh, I know who's trying to get in charge. Oh, my limited ego that doesn't know anything, because I know that I'm a lot less limited than that little limited ego thinks it is. And it thinks it knows all the answers when it doesn't. It does not. So, I think I talked to you just now about the ego, and that look at your ego and really, really embrace that you're going to have a fight with your limited self. You will have a fight with your limited self, and it will want to do its own thing. And you're going to have to put it down and put it away. My limited self didn't want me to journal. Don't journal. But this is boring. Who told me it was boring? My limited self. This is not exciting enough. Who told me that? My limited self. Who said, why give your karma to God? What difference does it make? My limited self told me that. Oh, another thing my limited self said, there's no such thing as karma. What's karma? Oh, I probably just dreamt up that I had a past life. Oh, I'm sure I maybe did or maybe I didn't. But who told me that? My limited self. And I got in touch with that limited self of mine that was always trying to disrupt the flow. Disrupt the flow. Do you hear me? And I told you, for 2 months, I just struggled and struggled and struggled with the 1/10 conscious and 9/10 subconscious. And if I would have given up to begin with, I wouldn't have had to struggle for 2 months. I would have been much better off had I just surrendered and said, you show it to me at your will, at your time, I give it to you, and I'm not going to pick at it anymore. For 2 months I picked at it and finally gave up and got an answer. So when you're not getting an answer, ask yourself, who's trapping me? Was God trying to talk to me? My teacher trying to talk to me out of body? Of course. But I was too angry that it wasn't working out the way I wanted it to. So I fussed around with that. What a waste of 2 months. So look at where you are. Look at what you're doing. And look at how your ego trips in and takes over even your spiritual journey when your heart is in the spiritual journey, but the ego isn't. So the ego wants to keep its throne. And the thing is, you're going to dethrone your ego. And once it realizes it's getting dethroned, believe me, it is a fight for your life. It's the last I that must be destroyed. It must be destroyed, and you are the one that's going to destroy it. Believe me, trust me on this one. Now, you've only begun the journey, or maybe you've been on the journey for 10 years or 20 years. The ego is still available to trip you up. Maybe now you got a spiritual ego, and that's the worst kind. The spiritual ego that's gone to a certain place. Oh, I saw my past lives, so I must be really important. Oh, believe me, I had that little baby. I must be more important than most people because, I had the veil lifted, so wow, whoa, I'm really, really brilliant. Oh, that was my ego that had to be destroyed. So once I destroyed the Jane ego, then I had to destroy my spiritual ego because it was failing to go on. Don't get entrapped in the goodies that the spiritual ego begins to provide for you and think that you're done, because you aren't. That ego has to be dismantled like anything else, and then you keep uncovering till you uncover your real self, the real I that is. And your ego, your spiritual ego, is an important part, but it gets destroyed too. So, giving you a lot to write about, a lot to think about, and a lot to go back to as your journey continues. Because the tape that I'm making right now, this video that you're looking at right now, should be put in your favorites, because this is going to help you at different points of your journey to remind yourself about your ego, about the karma, about journaling, about being the observer of self. Very, very important video I am making at this very moment in time and space. Because I'm talking to you, I'm talking to your ego, I'm talking to your God presence, and saying, get out of the way of this student. Move yourself over. Don't destroy this wonderful birth of the I Am presence within this soul. I want this soul to discover its whole self in God and God becomes man, so man can become God. Do you hear me? You had the evolution, and then you awaken in God, and then you become man to help others to become God themselves. Ponder on that one. Boy, when I heard that one way back, that I pondered on that for years and years and years and years and years. But it got uncovered slowly but surely. This journey isn't for the weak. It is not for the weak. It is for the strong of spirit. And when my little spirit got weak, some way I would say, I know I'm very weak right now, so help me to get stronger. Help me to continue on. I'm getting to a point where I'm weary. But I am not giving up. You are trying to show me something and I need to see it. Please help me. Please help me to understand my whole self. And I'm not going to get off the boat till I do. And when I get off that boat, I am in the oneness that I'm seeking. Because I'm already there. You're just uncovering it so that I become conscious of it. Do you hear that? You are uncovering it so that I become conscious of it. This is my purpose. This is the unfoldment of the God-realized being. Don't give up till you're there. And you will know when you've moved out of the third dimension into the higher realm of who the truth of you are. You will move out of being human forever and move into godness. But everything will be given away. Everything about you will be given away. Everything, you will surrender everything that you thought was precious. Even your idea of God and what God is like, and the masters and all that. Believe me, just go down the road. And all that will be revealed to you as you needed to be revealed. There was times I needed to believe that I had a master helping me. And I did. I honestly did have a master helping me. But then that master disappeared. And a new one came in. And it kept happening to me. Do not give up. When the going gets rough, you better get going. Because God listens to you and knows, does he really want to discover the I am presence within him, or is this just a little game that he thinks will be fun to play this lifetime? Only you can answer that. And you will be tested. Take it from me, you will be tested. Every time you take a few steps forward, you will be tested on the knowledge you have received. Will it work? Is it the truth? Are you determined? Are you going to fall apart the first time the moment comes when you have to do something you don't want to do? Who doesn't want to do it? Your ego. So get ready just to give it up. I give up my ego. I give up any ego that appears to take me on my journey. I'm going to dismantle as I move forward. I will dismantle that which is mine to dismantle, and I will journal. Every year I would burn up my journals. Now I wish I kept some of them that would take me back to 1968, because that was very important. But I do remember what I put in that journal, and it was a bunch of baby steps, but it was steps forward. So I say to you today, keep this video. This is going to be an important video on your journey, because I'm coming on a vibration right now. I am in the God presence, talking to you, telling you that you are also God. And it's your opportunity to open that door wide and walk through. And the heck with all the problems of the world. Your problem is to become God realized. That is your problem. And the universe is pulling you to it. Keep this video. Keep it. Because I'm on a vibration right now to wake you up and to keep pushing you forward. So go back to it. The moment you start to feel like you're weak and that you don't have the strength to do it, turn this on. And remember, I was in 1968 just where you are, just trying to desperately understand what the heck was going on. I am sitting here today saying it's worth it. Don't get lost in the third dimensional world of cause and effect. Move on. Get off your duff. Be the observer of self. Do your journaling. Have the courage to keep moving forward. That's what it takes. And hopefully I can give you the energy to do that. So keep this video. Keep it. Put it on your iPad, your whatever, in a little corner, and go back to it. Because in this video, I have told you a lot of things that you will uncover as you look back on this. Because I'm just opening up your I am presence within you. I'm pushing it, I'm opening it, and you will do the work. I can't do the work for you. I wish I could, but I can't. It would take away your own discovery of self. That is not fair. It would have taken away my discovery. I wish it would have been done. I prayed 1 billion times, please God, just wake me up right now. And I just got another thing to do. That's what happened. And you know what? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, infinite intelligence that created this wonderful process of realization. I love you on your journey. I support you on your journey. Keep this video. Bye-bye for now.
As I was watching this video, I was remembering when I got really stuck in my ego stuff. I didn't know how to get out of it, but I repeated the following words over and over and over again. You can't stop me. And those words became my mantra. And at times I would just say them over and over again, quietly, and at times I would yell them out until I was able to surrender that which was holding me back from taking my next spiritual step. And I use this process for my spiritual journey many times. And also during these times, journaling that Jane mentioned became a daily ritual for me. But I want you to know that just like Jane, I wasn't a supporter of journaling. But I did learn early on that by journaling, my subconscious would reveal information to me that opened me up to knowing my past lives and gave me new understandings of who I was. In other words, I began to know my whole self. I also asked questions during my meditation and journaling times about my journey, about who I was. And little by little, new information was revealed to me. Some of the information wasn't flattering, and I had to really look at my behavior, my thoughts, my motives, my agendas for everything that I did. I learned to ask my observer self every day to show me every thought, action, motive, agenda, and not let me get away with anything. Wow. Looking at myself through my observer self changed not only my behaviors over time, but also my consciousness. And again, this didn't happen overnight. It is important to be committed to this journey and desire nothing but to know your infinite self. And as Jane stated, if you get stuck, if you need if you need to have a push, get that energy moving within you, keep this video and refer to it often. And at this time, I want to invite you Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. Eastern Time for our Support for Your Journey gathering. Please note that additional information is noted in the chat area. And thank you so much from our hearts. We are so grateful for your support, which allows us to continue this work serving humanity. The information for donations is also listed in the chat area. Let's take a few minutes at this time to meditate together. So just sit back and relax. Close your eyes if you're comfortable doing so. Just allow yourself to become still. We shut off the ego and all the chatter. There is nothing important that we need to know or do at this time. We are moving into a new understanding of self. We are opening up our intuitive guidance channel to receive information, to move us forward on this journey. This beautiful journey of self-discovery. We are open to experience who we are. We are learning to know ourselves in the infinite. We are expanding our consciousness through our spiritual practices daily. Our hearts are filled with gratitude in this moment for the opportunity to be And when you are comfortable, please open your eyes and just let the chair support you. And thank you so much for being with us this morning. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye now.